Okay, this is my explanation video. It's probably just going to be Mr. Moore watching this. So I have got my actual video right over here, and then I've got the Instagram page. That's not it. I have the Instagram page pulled up on my phone, so there's no way I'm missing anything. So I will watch the video, skip through it, and if something comes up, then I'll tell you the timestamp, hopefully if I remember it, and then I will explain the relevance. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so 9 seconds into the video, Josie in your third hour, she does a get across the ocean with me in 60 days challenge. She's supposed to be Christopher Columbus. That's just a reference to a vague trend people do, like eat this incredibly spicy food with me or something to like show something difficult and then them doing it and how they react and stuff. So that is my attempt at that trend. And they walk themselves through like how it goes and if they completed it, which Josie does. She says they didn't complete in the allotted time frame, but they do find a new continent, so good for them, right? The next thing ought to be Emmy Lee's video, also in your third hour. She is timestamped 1 minute and 36 seconds. There are 2 versions. I chose the brain rot version, which is why she's speaking strange, but people unbox something, so like if they get like a, I don't know, Prada package in the mail or whatever, they'll be like, oh, unbox it with me, and then they'll be like, oh, this is my bag, I got this, yeah, like, they'll hold it up, and they'll be like, look at this, and I got this, and it was this much, and yada, 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 which is what Emmy is doing in this video with tobacco for the colonies, so, hopefully you like that. The next is Reverend Judson Delancey. He's an actual pastor, he's my pastor, I got him in on it, which I was quite happy. He plays Jonathan Edwards, and to promote videos, people will like post online and be like, hey, go check it out, links in the bio or whatever. So that's what he's doing. Yeah, the timestamp for that one is 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So I appreciate that. And then just a picture of George Washington at 3 minutes and 32 seconds. That's Lola in your 5th hour. We had a lot of fun filming that. So it's not knife, jeez. Nick Dahlgren, also in your 5th hour, is the next at 4 minutes exactly, with a picture of him holding Common Sense by Thomas Paine. He's supposed to be Thomas Paine. He was not very happy though that I put the wig on him and then posted it on the internet, so don't tell him. I mean, he knows, but like, does he? The next, I say that the Declaration of Independence was written, which is the greatest breakup text ever written, at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. That is a reference to Philomena Kunk. If you do not know who that is, she does a TV show called Kunk on Earth, which is basically where they like go through the history of the United States or the history of the world, depending on which series you're watching, but in like a very bad way, like just blatantly wrong stuff. Like she says Jesus was the first victim of cancel culture, stuff like that. But that's a direct quote from her, so that's what that's referencing. And then at 4:27, I say, ha, America against Britain, what a joke. And then I say it twice. That is something that Heimler does in his videos. He'll like cut to a different view of him, like he's interacting with himself. So that's what he's doing, and I say it twice because people would think that, and then it actually was true. Next, I am in the car with my dad. So at 5:07, James Corden, he'll like take celebrities who wrote songs. He did one with Paul McCartney. I think he did one with Michelle Obama, but I'm not really sure why, because she's not a singer, last I checked. But anyway, he'll take them around and they'll just drive and they'll sing their songs, and my dad wrote the Bill of Rights song. So we just got in the car and we sung that. So that's what that's a reference to. Next, okay. One of my favorites in this video is at 6:07 is the Kendrick Drake beef. So Dylan's playing Hamilton. He's in your 4th hour, I want to say. And Alex Stetson, who I think is also in your 4th hour, is playing Jefferson. And let me think. Okay, so Hamilton's supposed to be Kendrick, and then Jefferson's Drake. and then Washington is J. Cole. And what happened was, J. Cole was like, we're the best 3 rappers in the business, and then Kendrick was like, it's just me, I'm the best rapper. And then that made Drake really mad, but then J. Cole apologized, which is why George Washington's like, I'm an isolationist, staying out of this one. And then Drake says, you have relationship problems. But then Kendrick kind of like smokes him and is like, no, like, you're a pedophile, like, bam. And so Kendrick won, and that's the reference in that video. I'm not sure if you already knew that, but a little contextualization, so to say. So that's fun. The next reference is the French changed their relationship status to it's complicated. I don't actually have Facebook, but I'm pretty sure that's something you can do on Facebook. If not, I tried to be funny. Then the next is the Midnight Judges. Yes, so on Instagram, it's at 7:51 in timestamp wise. And if you look in the top corner, there's a little green box with a star in it. That means it's on your close friend's story, your normal story, anybody can see, but your close friend's story you can pick and choose. And John Adams chose who would be the Supreme Court justices, so I thought that's like close enough resemblance. And then Kai Mandel, who's in your second hour, is supposed to be John Marshall, who's like, no, that's not what's happening. So the story got leaked, so to say. So that's fun. And then the next one at 8:21 is the Louisiana Purchase, which Napoleon Bonaparte put on Facebook Marketplace. I hope that one makes sense. My dad thought it was hilarious, so there's that. And I put the little thing on there, so it says at the bottom, less than 3 cents an acre, help me fund my wars, constitutional crisis is free, and so used like new, stuff like that, because that was a condition. I thought it was funny. Then the next is going to be an apology video at 9:03 for the timestamp. So apology videos, like, I'm sure you could look up Haley Bailey, not the actress in The Little Mermaid. This one is a influencer. She posted a video saying let them eat cake for the Met Gala, and then everyone got really upset at her about that, which I think was a bit of an overreaction, but getting off topic. And so she posted an apology video, and a bunch of celebrities do it, or like influencers, but usually they're like really, really bad, and then like it just makes the whole scenario worse. So that's why I'm like the brothers, cousins, whatever's goldfish. I don't even know what I said. I made it up on the spot, but that's why that's so bad. And that's why it's relevant, I suppose. And then me and my sister, Jana, I think you had her 2 years ago, we were laughing. We couldn't, our dog was trying to play with us, so we were giggling a little bit. The next thing, okay, so an Alpha Bro podcast at 10:13 for the timestamp is, okay, so the best example is probably Andrew Tate. It's where a bunch of guys sit around and they think that they're better than everyone else. And they're like, yeah, this is what women should do, and women are meant to stay home. And that's what they're made for. And they say things that are wrong, and they have no evidence to back it up. So that is what Alex and Dylan are doing here for Andrew Jackson, talking about the Cherokee people in the Trail of Tears, and then they allowed the common man into politics, but not women. And then at 10:58, I react to it. That's a thing, like people will react to videos that people post and be like, this isn't right, or yes, I agree. So that's what I'm doing. Then they just say, shut up, you can't vote, woman, which I think is hilarious, but what do I know? Wow, the Second Great Awakening. At 11:43, Reverend Delancey's back at it. Again, they just promote it, like, on Instagram, so that's what he's doing. And then the next thing, so people will, it's at 12:03, Lila Wolf, she's also in your 5th hour, made a video saying, hey guys, Abigail Adams, these are the changes I made to the Declaration of Independence, because she told her husband to remember the ladies. People will be like, this is what I would do if I did this, or like yada yada, so that's that. And then I filmed a lot of this in the car on the way to graduation, so I hope that's okay. At 12:58, I read a bedtime story to a kid about the Mexican-American War. That's not like really a trend. I just thought it'd be funny. But yeah, and then at 13 minutes and 8 seconds, I get a call from Henry Clay, aka Amelia Libet, and I say caller ID hasn't been invented yet. I looked it up. Phone calls had been invented before the Civil War, so I thought it would work out perfectly. Then I show a clip from the movie. Oh, that's not true. Next, at 14:28, I do a story of Isabel Mudge wearing a top hat and doing a thumbs up, just for funsies. And then next, so Lincoln has 1 point, Confederacy has 0. She's wearing the top hat again at 15 minutes and 3 seconds. Then I show a clip from the movie Glory. People will post movie clips all the time, and I know we didn't really talk about it much in APUSH, but I think that's one of the more important battles, like maybe not in the grand scheme of the war, but in the grand scheme of like history, I think it is. So I decided to include it, and also I love that movie. It brings my Matthew Broderick count up to 1, which I will tell you later because it's a story. I don't know why I said it. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, so at 16:23, I say Fancy Pants Way of Saying. It's not a trend. Thought it'd be funny. Next is, Lincoln does 2 and 3, saying he has it, but just keeping score of who's better. Obviously, it's Lincoln, right? Enter military construction, and I got my friend Lauren Johnson. I don't believe you have her as a student. To be J.D. Rockefeller going around giving out dimes for the Gospel of Wealth, but then she's like, did you get that on video? And she's getting all mad about it because people will be like, come with me to help people in need, but they clearly only do it for like the likes or the views or the popularity, so that's why we did that. Next, it's not in the video, but it's on my Instagram page, which I would recommend Instagram if I haven't already told you this. I don't know, I'm obviously filming this before my time. But Kai Mandel in your second hour, hats off to him. There's a trend on Instagram that's like, me when I remember women get periods. I'm 6'4", by the way, and make like $1 million a year or something like that, to be like, oh, you should date me. But his is me when I remember women can't vote. I'm 6'4", by the way, and never got typhoid. So hats off to him, because that was a video and a half to film. Something else, which is not in the actual video, but it's on the page. Okay, then on 18 minutes and 43 seconds, I got JP Aarons play JP Morgan, and he just says, hey, I've got a deal for you. I thought JP's kind of crazy. I thought it'd be funny, and it was. It was great. Next would be my dad at 19:08. There's a post saying Northern Securities v. United States. It's just the two of them pretending to fight each other. Although I think my dad kind of looks like he's about to punch himself, which is like, kind of gets rid of the point. And then I go through a different post and I say he was a conservationist, so he's got his plants with him because I could not fly us out to the Grand Canyon. I wish I could. Oh, I love the Grand Canyon. And then his mustache. And then at 19:24, I shoot my dad with a Nerf gun because he's shot trying to give his speech for the Bull Moose Party. And then at 19:29, my dad does his "No one can kill a bull moose," which does not relate to anything. It's just I would not have him as a teacher, so I thought I wanted to include it in my video. Okay. So next, at 20 minutes and 3 seconds, there's a video. I am in a flapper dress, and Lola Grant in your 5th hour is helping me, which this relates to a couple on the internet called Pookie and Jet. Now, the girl's name is not actually Pookie, it's Campbell. I'm sure you could Google them, see one of their videos, but every time they're like, oh, last day in New York, and then they go through what they're wearing. It's obviously like expensive, very nice stuff. And so I thought, oh, I could do a 1920s version of that, and the guy's got a weird accent, so that's why Lola's got a weird accent. And then they always smooch at the end of their videos, so that's why. And he always, no matter what, he'll say, Pookie is looking quintessentially fire, or something along the lines of that. So that is why that's in there. The next thing I show is a clip from Doctor Who, because I don't think it'd be true to myself if I didn't fit Doctor Who in here. It's David Tennant, so he's my favorite Doctor, which is fun. And then at 21:24, I do a video of Mika in your third hour. She's talking about her new deal, and then I go down to the chair where there's a very poorly emoji on there of a wheel to be a wheelchair, and she's like, my eyes are up here. That is a thing on the internet where like they'll like move down and they'll be like, my eyes are up here, because FDR had a deal not to take pictures below his waist, which you already know. Next, your video of Harry Truman I used back in the USSR as a video on my Instagram page, which I love that song, so I thought it'd be fitting. And then I do a Get Ready With Me video at 22:19. People do like a Get Ready With Me video where they do their makeup and they like tell a story. So I did this for the 1950s. A good example would be the couple Matt and Abby. I'm not sure, you might have to look up just Abby, but she does makeup videos where she talks about stories, so that might be a good example to look up if you wanted to look one up. So please excuse the fact that I cannot do makeup to save my life. And then next at 23:48, I talk about my grandfather. That is not a trend or anything. I just wanted to include him in that because we talked about how addicted they were to defeating the Soviets, and that's what he did when he was in the military. Next, not a video in my thing, but there's this, which again, I recommend getting Instagram, but it's about JFK, and he was elected, he said, because a lot of women are like, oh, he's really attractive, I'm gonna vote for him. And the trend is like, oh yeah, this guy is like, oh, he's pretty, so I'm gonna do what he tells me. So that what is. And then at 24:23, I show a clip of MLK. Not trend, just put it in a post because I thought it was important to show. I think it's one of the most important moments in American history, really. And then my Instagram page, I have a picture of, on Star Trek, because again, wouldn't be me if I didn't put Star Trek on here, of Nichelle Nichols and William Shatner in their season 3 episode Plate of Stepchildren. When they kiss, it's the first interracial kiss ever televised, and I think that's one of the most important moments in television history, so I talk about that in my video. And then again, not on the video, but I show a picture of Neil Armstrong on the moon. And I think that is it video-wise. Oh, I have Mr. Callahan in here. No, it is not. I apologize. I've got more. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, I'm not going to go through it exactly, but some point in here after the 25-minute mark, I mentioned the movie The Lion King, which is twofold. It's the second Matthew Broderick mark, and it's also Philomena Kunk. She would say blatantly wrong stuff, but it somehow makes sense. So that's what I was trying to go for. And then when I'm talking about the Watergate scandal, I also mentioned War Games, which brings my Matthew Broderick count up to 3. And then Mr. Callahan is in here at the 27:32 mark. And I just thought it'd be fun to have him in there. He's my favorite sub, so that was fun. And then finally at the 28-minute mark, I do the ending scene from Ferris Bueller where he's like, you're still here? What are you doing here? Go home. Which brings my Matthew Broderick count up to 4. I don't know, I decided to include him. Ferris Bueller's been my favorite movie. And so I was like, well, I'll have the ending be that. And I was like, oh, Show Glory. And I was like, well, that's 2 Matthew Broderick movies, so why not just have as many as I can? So, yeah, that's all video-wise, but on the Instagram page, there are a few more that are just, like, trends or, like, trending audios. One of them is just Dylan and Alex rapping. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoy it.